down Cedar Lane. I wandered down old Cedar Lane as the daylight broke the blue, where the trees stood tall and patient, like they somehow always knew. I had carried hidden heartache from a season worn and long, and the weight inside my spirit. But the sunlight through the branches held a warmth I didn't claim, and the hush along the roadway seemed to softly speak my name. So I paused beside a wooden sign as the sky grew warm again, and I felt a gentle mercy making brighter Cedar Lane. In that early tender moment where the weary hearts can bend, I could feel a healing presence move like morning with a friend. Brighter on Cedar Lane told my trembling heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my strength had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Brighter on Cedar Lane wrapped a quiet round my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that gathered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear that day. The retired teacher by the cedar trees, a gentle aging teacher, walked up slowly from the bend, carrying a book of lessons from the life she'd learned to mend. She rested near a cedar stump with a breath both rough and true, saying, "Son, this lane has saved me when I didn't know what to do." She spoke of losing family, of the night she felt undone, how she prayed beneath these treetops till she saw a rising sun. And the truth within her stories felt like sunlight on my chest, showing God can teach the broken where the weary come to rest. In the wisdom she had gathered, in the strength beneath her pain, I felt something deep within me lift like morning on the lane. Brighter on Cedar Lane lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Brighter on Cedar Lane glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, "Rest in me," to me. Brighter on Cedar Lane, brighter on Cedar Lane. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust His heart like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. I will stay right here, thanked her for her stories as she rose to greet the day. And she said, "Son, God restores you in His patient, tender way." Then she stepped along the cedar line with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Rider on Cedar Lane taught my weary soul to rise, letting go a broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Rider on Cedar Lane echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler, healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing me to me.
Ride a Cedar Lane, ride a living hill, gentle organ hush, silent cedar on tree. Pride will stay right here, I will breathe again. Every whispered prayer needs His presence there.
I climbed up Oak Hill slowly as the daylight settled down, where the air grew calm and patient, far above the busy town. I carried quiet questions from a road that twisted long, and the silence in my spirit told me something here was wrong. But the sky began to soften into colors deep and still, and the hush across the valley felt like mercy standing still. So I stopped beside the gravel path as the shadows learned to kneel, and I felt a gentle presence wrap my heart on Oak Hill. In that quiet closing moment where the restless finally rest, I could feel a healing whisper settle deep inside my chest. Evening bell on Oak Hill told my weary soul to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my faith felt fragile and my strength had slipped away, grace was calling out my name again. Evening bell on Oak Hill rang beyond my doubt and fear, telling me the Lord was closer than the pain I carried here. When I felt forgotten, He was standing near. Hope was ringing in my ear that day. An aging church caretaker walked up slowly from the gate, keys worn smooth from years of service, never early, never late. He leaned against the bell tower with a breath both rough and true, saying, "Son, this hill has saved me when I didn't know what to do." He spoke of losing loved ones, of nights he prayed alone, how the bell became his answer when his heart felt overthrown. And And the truth inside his story felt like echoes in my chest, showing God still speaks in silence when the weary need their rest. In the patience he had learned here, in the faith he chose to hold, I felt something deep within me start to warm what fear made cold. Evening bell on Oak Hill lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in and did the rest again. Evening bell on Oak Hill, glow with mercy in the air, telling me the Lord was present in each answered prayer. When my courage weakened and my knees would bend, love was whispering, amen, to me. Evening bell on Oak Hill, evening bell on Oak Hill. I will wait right here, I will breathe again, I will trust his voice in the quiet then. Every heavy doubt knows his steady tone, every broken prayer is never alone. I will wait right here, I will wait right here, I will breathe again, I will breathe again. Every broken prayer is never alone. As the bell rang low and steady and the stars began to rise, I could feel my weary heartbeat find its truth beneath the skies. For the caretaker's devotion and the sound that filled the air made the sorrow in my memory feel lighter than a prayer. I thanked him as he locked the door and turned to walk away, and he said, son, God restores us in his quiet, faithful way. Then he disappeared down the hill with a slow and humble stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a flame that stays alive. Evening bell on Oak Hill taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried through the nights when my hope was fading. Under silent skies, grace was never leaving my side. Evening bell on Oak Hill echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sorrow into healing through the tears. What I thought was ending drew me near. Love was always waiting here for me. Evening bell on Oak Hill, evening bell on Oak Hill. Quiet night, walked down Red Oak Road. I wandered down Red Oak Road. as the dusk began to fall, where the shadows met the firelight from an old barn near the wall. I carried heavy heartache from a season long and worn, and the quiet in my footsteps left my weary spirit torn. But the glow along the hillside held a peace I hadn't known, and the wind among the treetops sounded like a gentle tone. So I stopped beside the wooden rail as the flames breathed soft and slow, and I felt a tender mercy moving through that amber glow. In that warm and fragile moment where the hurting hearts can bend, I could feel a healing presence rise like firelight with a friend. Firelight on red oak grove told my trembling heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my faith had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Firelight on red oak road wrapped a calm around my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that lingered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Peace was whispering in my ear. That day, the woodcutter by the barn fire, a tired, humble woodcutter, stepped out slowly from the barn, carrying a stack of old wood harvested from his own farm. He settled near the fire pit with a breath both rough and true, saying, "Son, this fire saved me when I didn't know what to do." He spoke of losing family, of the winters cold and long, how he prayed beside these embers till the Lord rebuilt him strong. And the truth within his telling felt like sparks upon my chest, showing God can warm the frozen in the places built for rest. In the stories he had carried, in the tears he let unfold, I felt something deep inside me soften slowly in the cold. Firelight on red oak road lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Firelight on red oak road glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, "Rest in me." To me, firelight on red oak road, firelight on red oak road. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust His love like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. strength rising in the fire's warmth. As the fire burned more softly and the night grew calm and wide, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a gentler place inside. For the woodcutter's compassion and the glow beside the road made the sorrow in my memory slowly lighten its old load. I thanked him for his wisdom as he stood to end his night, and he said, "Son, God restores you in his patient, gentle light." Then he wandered past the barn doors with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Firelight on Red Oak Road taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Firelight on Red Oak Road echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Firelight on Red Oak Road. Firelight on Red Oak Road. Walking while the world still sleeps, I stepped outside before the sunrise, when the town was fast asleep, where the streetlights faded softly and the silence felt so deep. I had carried quiet worries, and the questions in my spirit felt too heavy to defend. But the sound of my own footsteps on the pavement, cool and gray, felt like something pulling gently all my restless thoughts away. So I slowed my pace and listened to the dark begin to yawn, and I felt a tender mercy walking with me before dawn.
In that fragile in-between time, where the shadows start to fade, I could feel a calm assurance I had never learned or prayed.
Footsteps before dawn told my weary heart to trust, showing me the Lord was moving even when the road was dust. When my strength felt empty and my faith was almost gone, grace was walking with me on again. Footsteps before dawn cut a path through silent fear, telling me the Lord was closer than the night that held me here. When I felt forgotten, He was never gone. Hope was rising with the dawn that morning. Feared a delivery driver pulled his truck along the curb, Hands worn down by early mornings, face both gentle, tough and firm. He nodded as he passed me, like he somehow understood. Said, son, these hours saved my life when nothing else ever could. He spoke of years of running, of mistakes he couldn't flee, how he learned to meet the daylight on his knees instead of speed. And the truth inside his story settled deep into my chest, showing God meets broken people before the world gets dressed.
In the strength he found in stillness, in the peace he chose to claim, I felt something deep within me start to loosen its old chains. Footsteps before dawn lifted weight off tired eyes, turning restless, aching questions into hope before sunrise. When my tears kept falling longer than I planned, grace stepped in and held my hand again. Footsteps before dawn left no echo, full of fear, telling me the Lord was present even when the path was unclear. When my courage faltered and my knees would bend, love was walking to the end with me. Footsteps before dawn, footsteps before dawn.
I don't need to see the road, I don't need to know the way. I will trust each quiet step he has placed in front of me. Every silent mile knows his steady pace. Every breaking night meets his rising grace.
Daylight finally breaking as the edge of sky turned silver and the darkness slipped away. I could feel my weary heartbeat find a steadier, softer way. For the driver's quiet witness and the road beneath my feet turned the burden in my memory into something I could meet.
I watched him drive it toward the sunrise with his taillights fading red, and the words he left behind me kept on echoing in my head. In the hush before the morning, when the light began to yawn, I knew God had walked beside me every step before the dawn.
Footsteps before dawn taught my restless soul to rise, letting go of heavy burdens I had carried through the nights. When my hope felt distant under empty skies, grace was closer than my cries again. Footsteps before dawn echo through my later years, turning silent disappointment into healing through the tears. What I thought was ending carried on. Love was walking all along with me.
Single piano note repeating,
Decreased it phased to silence,
organ breath dissolve.
Silence.
After the rain has passed, I stood on the hillside while the rain still clung to air, where the ground felt washed and honest, like a whispered answered prayer. I had carried quiet sorrow through a season cold and wide, and the storm inside my spirit left me nowhere left to hide. But the clouds began to open, just enough to let in light, and the wind across the valley felt like mercy after night. So I breathed into the silence where the thunder used to be, and I felt a gentle promise settle slowly over me. In that space the storm had emptied, where the noise no longer stayed, I could hear a deeper comfort than the fear my heart had made. Hillside after the storm told my shaken heart to stand, showing me the Lord was steady when I couldn't understand. When my faith felt fragile and my strength was worn and torn, grace was waiting after storms again. Hillside after the storm held a quiet, steady calm, telling me the Lord was healing every place that felt gone wrong. When I felt abandoned, I was never gone. Hope was growing all along within. The man fixing his fence, a tired man along the ridgeline, mended wire bent and torn, hands still shaking from the lightning that had raged just hours before. He looked up and caught my eye with a smile both thin and true. Said, son, storms don't mean he left us, sometimes they just break us through. He spoke of fields once flooded, of crops he thought were gone, how he learned the soil grows deeper after weather proves us wrong. And the truth inside his weathered voice settled deep into my chest, showing God still grows new life in the aftermath and mess. In the strength he found rebuilding, in the hope he didn't lose, I felt something deep inside me start to change its point of view. Hillside after the storm lifted weight from off my breath, turning fear that clung like rain clouds into faith that wasn't dead. When my tears kept falling, long after the storm, grace stepped in and kept me warm again. Hillside after the storm glowed with mercy in the sky, telling me the Lord was faithful even when I questioned why. When my courage faltered and my knees were worn, love was standing after storms with me. After the storm, after the storm, I don't need the thunder gone, I don't need the skies to stay clear. I just need to know his hand is still holding me right here. Every broken field knows his patient plan, every shaken heart rests inside his hands. I nodded to the man below me as he pulled the wire tight, And he said, son, God restores us, not before but after nights. Then the clouds kept drifting onward as the valley stretched and yawned, leaving courage in my spirit like a field reborn at dawn. Hillside after the storm taught my restless soul to rise, letting go of all the questions I'd carried through the nights. When my hope felt distant under broken skies, grace was closer than my cries again. Hillside after the storm echoes through my later years, turning shaken ground and heartache into healing through the tears. What I thought was ending carried on. Love was waiting after storms roaring on me. Single dobro note fades, organ pad dissolves slowly. No rhythm, just air.